So on day one as president, I will set two ambitious national goals for renewable energy. First, we need to have more than 500 million solar panels installed across the country by the end of my first term. Second, we'll set a 10-year goal of generating enough renewable energy to power every single home in America. Not some homes, not most homes, every home in America. Now, I know these goals will test our capacities, but I know they are within our reach. We will make America's the world's clean energy superpower. And yes, I will defend President Obama's Clean Power Plan against attacks from Republicans and their corporate backers. We'll launch a clean energy challenge that supports and partners with states, cities, and rural communities that are ready to lead on clean energy. We'll stop the giveaways to big oil companies and extend, instead, tax incentives for clean energy while making them more cost-effective for both taxpayers and producers. And even as we face the threat of climate change head-on, we cannot close our eyes to the challenges facing hard-working families in coal country who kept our lights on and our factories running for more than a century. We should guarantee that coal miners and their families get the benefits they've earned and the respect they deserve. So we still have a lot that we can do without getting congressional support. However, it is in everybody's interest. This is not a Republican or Democratic problem. Our big problem, and I will acknowledge this, are the corporate interests that are still promoting fossil fuels and still have too much of a grip on our political process and too many advantages in our tax code.
Secretary Clinton, one of the issues that at least has taken on a lot of symbolism for people in the climate and environmental movement is the Keystone XL pipeline. And that's an area where in the past you've said that you kind of want to stay out of the process, but I just want to see if now that you're a presidential candidate and many presidential candidates have taken positions, pro or con, if you want to weigh in.
Well, Jen, thank you for that. You know, no other presidential candidate was Secretary of State when this process started, and I put together a very thorough, deliberative, evidence-based process to evaluate the environmental impact and other considerations of Keystone. As such, I know that there is a very careful evaluation continuing and that the final decision is pending to be made by Secretary Kerry and President Obama. Very simply, the evaluation is determined whether this pipeline is in our nation's interest, and I'm confident that the pipeline's impact on global greenhouse gas emissions will be a major factor in that decision, as the President has said. So I will refrain from commenting because I had a leading role in getting that process started, and I think that we have to let it run its course. I will be talking about energy and climate security. I will be talking about modernizing North American infrastructure, about safe and responsible production, especially making sure taxpayers get a fair deal for development on public lands and areas that I think are too sensitive for production that should be taken off the table. I mentioned the coal communities. I feel a personal obligation to make sure that we do what we need to do to keep our promises to people in coal country, and then a collective, collaborative effort to make sure that we're doing what we can at every level of government, with our private sector, with our academic institutions, and so many more.